Senator Cox. Sorry, Senator Stewart, then Senator Cox.
Thank you, Acting Deputy President. The first review by the Productivity Commission into the progress of the Closing the Gap agreement was released this week. The review outlines a path forward for us in this place. That pathway requires a strong emphasis on self-determination, trust and power sharing with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities. Governments, including us in this place, must acknowledge and act on the reality that First Nations people know what is best for their communities. I'm very fortunate to come from a state with a long and proud history of achievement and excellence from First Nations people. I grew up surrounded by and learning from elders and Aboriginal leaders who paved the way in self-determination. Victoria now leads the nation in ensuring decision-making powers are in Aboriginal hands. I hope that the success of my home state can be a model in national conversations in Aboriginal affairs going forward. We must continue to build on the strength and resilience of First Nations people to achieve better outcomes. The findings of the Productivity Commission's review and the promises made by governments are simply not just words to me. This is my story too. This is the stories of my sons, my aunties, my uncles, my family and my community. It is the reason I stand here today and the reason I'll continue to advocate for First Nations people. To my mob, I want to be clear that we hear you and we will continue to stand with you as we shape future policy that will bridge the divide between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians. I look forward to continuing the conversation that builds on our strengths and resilience as a community together. Because after all, we are all accountable for delivering practical and lasting improvements for our people, First Nations people. This is not the end of the discussion. When looking into the future, there is a responsibility on governments to do better. As Commissioners Romley Mocack and Natalie Segal-Brown so accurately describe it, we cannot afford to waste the opportunity that this agreement presents.